Hello there, welcome back. Today we're talking about City of Hope. This is dedicated to Saoirse Ronan, who gave me a copy of this film to see. So I saw it and then found out it was on Amazon Prime. You can see it in HD. So you can see this in HD in Amazon Prime just now. I didn't know that at the time. So I watched an older copy. Right, so that's a John Sayles film from the early 90s, and it's wonderful. It's really beautiful. It's basically the film. It's a film. It's the one film that grew up in New York, right? In the late 80s, early 90s, there's a lot of films about New York politics and New York culture. There was like City Hall, which was this Al Pacino mess that was this disastrous, like over budget, overproduced nightmare which never got into any of the gritty details of the politics of New York. You have stuff, the gangster stuff like Goodfellas, it's around New York, but it's only limited to one point of view, so you don't get a view of the city. You had Bonfire of Vanities, which was De Palma's big disaster, that was basically a cartoon, because you could never do that novel as a one you can do as a film because it's too long for film. Also, you can do it seriously because this rich guy who, goes through the system because he knocked in a black guy. But it's kind of racist. The book's kind of racist. It kind of sees, it looks at all them characters in New York and seems to stereotype them quite a bit. I mean, it tries to get into detail about it, but there's also a stereotypical view of them that's just there. It just feels kind of... I'm sure there were some of those stereotypes in life, but the book kind of was a bit of like a white guy's view of New York, which in a way that it was a bit off. But it's not that film I'm talking about. I'm talking about City of Hope. I just wanted to point that out, just to point out how good City of Hope is, because it doesn't do that. It does not do anything like that. City of Hope is this massive cast, multicultural. So you get the black society, you get the rich guys who are so you go into the construction industry and all the kind of back ends have to do with that. There's City Hall and all the politics of what the compromise are to get anything done, and you've got people living their lives like the construction workers, the petty crooks, the musicians. They go through all these different people. You actually get to universities as well and all their politics all within 2 hours, because it's razor focused on what needs to be told, because it's a story that takes place over a few days, and it's literally about how one incident leads to another and leads to something going horribly or tragically wrong, and how all these compromises are made, and how something can be done for a reason, and how it can get out of control, and how people can be destroyed by it. But it's a very easy watch film. For something that sounds so complicated, the storytelling is so good that you don't actually notice a lot of this stuff. This is like The Wire before The Wire. This is literally, you got to figure, I think the one person that The Wire owes a lot to beyond Homicide producers is John Sayles, because The Wire is definitely influenced by John Sayles. It's weird because I think when The Wire came out, John Sayles suddenly had problems finding financing after that, because you could see his stuff on TV basically, because his style was suddenly in the David Simon stuff. Because it's all about the same stuff, the City Hall, politics, but it was banded over like 5 seasons in a way that John Sayles did in 2 hours. So it starts off with an incident where this guy, Nicky, he's the son of a guy who runs a construction company. He's very troubled because his brother died 10 years ago in Vietnam. He idolizes his brother and he blames his dad for his brother's death, and that's a little peanut at the start that causes a lot of problems, because this guy's still dealing with some of his issues, his drug problems. And in that day he quits his job, but then instead of going into a spiral of depression, he makes one mistake and then decides, no, that's not a good idea, let's try and improve your life. Which is a nice little twist, because you think, or most films, if you make one mistake, you're going to make tons of mistakes. Now, he makes one mistake, he moves on, and it turns out that one mistake leads to all these repercussions throughout the rest of the film that he's oblivious to for a long part of the film, because he's trying to romanticize a woman who he knew in school, and he can see a connection with, and he can suddenly see, I could be this person, and this could make me rethink my life and make me think about things in a way that will help me focus on what my problems are. Because he can suddenly realise there is another life that he's been ignoring and needs to connect with. But because of that, he's involved in a robbery. He's only the getaway driver. He didn't even go into the place that has the robbery. And it's an incompetent robbery where the guys get, you know, the guys get caught. So they're so incompetent they get caught instantly. And all these things happen beyond that because this guy Nicky's fingered the robbery, it gives the politicians leverage on his father who's resisting something to do with a building contract, and they basically say, your son can get off if you do us this favour. So it becomes this complicated thing of how are favours done in New York society? Why are they done? What are the pressure you can put on people? What are the difficulties of actually surviving in any capacity, in any political capacity in New York, and not be utterly railroaded? You've all these subplots with these kids who mugged this guy, then when they get caught they say he made a homosexual advance to them. This guy's a university professor. So basically you get the elite meeting the poorest of the poor in one nasty situation. And you've all these other stories of this. You go to the police and see how they manage what's basically a minority base, and most of them are white, and they have to be tough on these guys because some of them are criminals who are going to misbehave. The other ones they treat badly out of frustration. And one of those cops, which is Anthony Denison from Crime Story, he's hot-headed, and his ex-wife has seen Nicky. She's a woman who Nicky sees as the chance to get his life together. So there's this triangle there, but it's not really a triangle because no one wants this guy, this cop guy. Everyone wants him out of this picture, but he's just going crazy, which leads to a lot of complications and lots of difficulties. And all the complications of this favour which they asked this contractor to do for them, and his connections to the underworld, and how you get things done, which means you have to bring people onto any job that are useless, but those people getting the jobs help you get the contracts. All these other contracts, all these favours you have to do to survive in New York. And it all becomes this game where everyone knows someone, everyone's compromised, everyone's got a hand on someone else to pressure them. And they're getting pressured by someone else to pressure this other person. It creates this thing of someone wants something done, so how does it get done? There's always a how-to manual of how it gets done, how does it get stopped. But it's from the point of view of all these different people, different perspectives. So even in the black community, you get someone who's a councillor, Joe Morton, who's viewed as a sellout by his constituency. Basically, he's a kiss-ass. And he's trying to deal with all these other political organisations within his constituency who have nothing to do with him and who hate him. So even the black community is fighting each other all the time. Every other community is doing the same thing. Everyone's just trying to get a little ahead. How can I use this to get ahead a little bit? But it's not like a cartoonish conspiracy the way you would do it in lots of Hollywood movies. It's just people trying to survive. People have been short-sighted. People have been stubborn and grudges that get in the way of actually making some sense of the situation. It's about how human beings can be very frustrating, how tragedies happen, not because someone's been a villain, no, it's like one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. Someone incompetent somewhere makes a mistake, and there's lots of incompetent people all over the place. So one of the reasons why a lot of things don't get done is like a variety of incompetence in different departments, and it becomes like a game of telephone where one person says one thing, then another, and everything gets mutilated as things get done. And you've got people trying their best, and other people who have been malicious, and other people are just bad at their jobs. And this all leads to all these horrible situations, and people's lives are getting stressed out, getting ruined, when they're just trying their best and they don't deserve what they get. I mean, that's life's bad, life's horrible at times. And this film's about that. Life is horrible to people who are trying their best, and is very humane about that. That's what's good about John Sayles. He's a very humane director, but he doesn't miss the nastiness of life and how things can go horribly wrong. Some people are corrupt, some people are just bad people, other people are foolish, other people are decent. There's a whole lot of people are weak, or try to do their best for family, and they make mistakes. And instead of just being, oh, it's all about my family, it's like you see the actions take place rather than lots of histrionics, and you see how the tragedies really occur. I'm trying to avoid giving you too much into like what happens though, because a lot of interesting things happen as the film progresses. I'm just not trying to see what they are, because I'm trying to encourage you to go and see this film, because it is a really good film. So it's wonderful. Go see it. Go see more John Sayles films. I mean, Liana's brilliant. Limbo's brilliant. 8 Men Out, Lone Star, they're all great as well. So go see these films. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back soon with another review. Leave your comments below. Right, bye.